Hello and welcome back. And today I want to touch on a question probably in the back of most of our minds. Will AI take my job? Or how's my job going to change in the next couple of years due to AI? Now, there's a lot of opinions out there. Some of them are very well reasoned and thought out. Some of them are less so. Some of them are very passionate and loud. And spoiler alert, we're not going to come to a concrete decision here today. But I do want to introduce some ideas and concepts that hopefully will guide your thinking a little bit. And the first one we want to talk about is the capabilities of AI. In the last video, I talked about hallucinations. This is where a large language model like ChatGPT will confidently state something that's wrong. It may cite a court case that doesn't exist. It may refer to a research article in a medical journal that was never written. And sometimes the hallucinations are just obviously wrong. And I think there's a danger of looking at this and saying, well, if these AIs make so many mistakes, they're unreliable. So this is clearly hype. It's all going to blow over. Things are going to go back to the way they are. No, because these things do sometimes make some silly mistakes, but they're also very powerful as well. Now, I'm just talking about current technology, the large language models, but most researchers realize that LLMs, they've had their day in the sun. That's not the way to the future, and they're developing other technologies. And one of those is so-called world models. And that is where the AI has a model of how the world works. Like you and I have one of these. If I pick up an object and let it go, we know it'll drop. I didn't read that in a textbook. I'm not using a physics equation to figure that out. I just get that from experience. And so they're trying to get AIs to have that same sort of thought process. So don't look at hallucinations or the capabilities of AI today and use that as a guide as to what your job's going to look like in a couple of years. The technology is going to get way better. Now, there's also the question of adoption. There's the capabilities of the AI, and then it's whether you're actually using it in your job. Like, we could have super advanced AI right now, but, well, if you think about it, right, I'm not on the cutting edge, you're not on the cutting edge, right? We're all kind of procrastinating a little bit, and so is your boss, and so is the executives where you work, and so forth. And so there's going to be a little bit of a lag between the AIs having the capabilities to do a lot of your job and it actually entering your workforce as well. If you work in a highly regulated industry, that's going to be another hurdle that's going to slow things up. And then, of course, there's always the possibility that one of these AI tools makes a very big, very public mistake that's reported in the news, and that may spook a lot of employers and say, whoa, 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 we're not adopting this until it gets better. So that's one thing that may also influence how much AI affects your job in the next couple of years. But now most people who think about these things a lot feel that in the next couple of years, what's going to happen is, no, you're not going to get replaced, but you are going to form a partnership with one or more AIs. And I use the term partnership specifically here because it's not a tool you're going to offload your work to. You've got a task to do, you've got a problem to solve. You're going to do parts of it that you're good at. It's going to do parts that it's good at. You're going to collaborate. You may check each other's work. You may push back on each other. And so that's likely to be the model. So what parts of your job are you good at? Well, one school of thought is that humans will always be necessary because we have the human touch, right? Doctors will always exist because of their bedside manner. Honestly, when I look at how people treat each other, I don't think humans have the human touch. I think most people open their mouth and let words tumble out. They don't think about what they're saying. They don't think about how it lands for anyone. So this whole idea that somehow we are good at empathy, I think is absurd. So there may be a future for us, but it's not because of our human touch. And surveys show that many people are using ChatGPT and things because they enjoy conversing with them. I think they enjoy conversing with these AI tools more than with other people. So I don't buy the human touch thing. There are some people who feel that as long as whatever you do, whatever product or service or what you do for a living contains some part of you in it, that makes you uniquely valuable. An obvious example is, and what I mean by uniquely valuable is whatever you do can't be completely replicated by someone else who has the same experience and knowledge and skills and intelligence as you. There's something unique about you. Artists have their own style. Perhaps you have your own way of explaining things, of using colorful metaphors or so forth. So the argument is that as long as what you're doing has your fingerprint on it, right, that makes you uniquely valuable. I don't know, maybe. I guess we'll see. There's other people who think that humans will always be necessary because we are the arbiters of taste. We know what good looks like. That may be very hard to encode into an AI system. I was watching a video the other day which proposed an interesting idea. He said one of the most important skills you and I can develop as we're working with AI is learning to say no. When you think about it, a lot of times when you use ChatGPT and these sorts of things, you tend to accept what it says unless it's obviously, mistaken. And he's encouraging you to look closely at what it says and tell it, no, that's wrong because blank. That's not what I want because blank. I wish you would have done this instead. And so perhaps we stay in the loop for a very long time because we're the ones who determine whether something is good or not. I don't know. And lastly, I want you to consider, rather than looking at, will AI take my job, how can I benefit from AI? Because everybody is eager to adopt these technologies to see firsthand what they're good at. If you're the person at work who can show your boss that, the C-suite, your coworkers, how valuable does that make you, regardless of what your tasks are, regardless of what your job title is? So I encourage you not just to watch these videos, but also start experimenting, start getting some experience, start seeing concrete how you can benefit from this, and then start showing other people. That, I think in the next 12 to 18 months, all of us have a huge opportunity to do that and benefit our careers tremendously. So thank you very much for watching. Very brief introduction to some of the things. There's a lot more that could be said about it. I appreciate you watching. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying this video series, and I'll see you in the next one.